Hello and welcome back to another video. This video we're going to be having a quick look through the pictures and then we're going to have a little discussion on the new rule for the cult ambush. I'll tell you what I think about it and etc. So we'll have a quick look at the pictures, but before we begin, use your burn sword and hit the subscribe button and destroy the bell button so you never miss an upload. So I won't read all this to you, but we'll have a quick look. So this is the new Lady Magus? Magus. I'm going to say Magus. Or Magus. Magus. That's better. Opinions. It's alright. Okay. Familiar. Standard Primus. And here we have some of the newer models. Well, one of the newer models there. And there's the other guy. The Clamavus? I'm going to read it. I don't know how to pronounce all of them. Unless it tells me. It says led by Magus Neris Vignostiqui. I don't know how to pronounce that. And the Tectonic Fractal, which is nowhere to be seen. Yeah, and obviously we've got one of the Ridge Runners maybe, and a Cult Chimera with a flamer, and I don't know what the other one is. I'm gonna guess it's a double flamer. Steelers in the background, Cult Light and Rose. Anyway, blah blah blah. Let's move on. Probably look at the newer models more than anything. So these are standard Acolyte Icon Ward. Versing some Cadians. Interesting. Adding some more guys to their little team. Always good for the Genestealer cult. Here we have all of the Acolyte hybrids. Yeah, not much to be seen. So I'm not going to go on this for too long, unless it's something I haven't seen before. Some neophytes. What's over here? Some neophytes and some of the other units, which I will be going over in another video. I'll be doing hopefully doing a lot of these videos in regards to the rules. So one thing that annoys me is sometimes when you see the rules review. In fact, I'm currently looking at Striking Scorpions. It says New Genestealer Cult Codex Review plus Tactical Warhammer 40k 8th edition. So there's nothing wrong with it as such, but with, I think it was Winter's SEO, he won't show you all of the rules, and I don't know if he will in this video that I'm currently trying to watch. But obviously, since I'm not affiliated with Games Workshop currently, or probably ever in the future, I've got no such worries about showing you the rules, because I don't owe them anything yet. I mean, if they want to send me some free stuff, I might change my tune. Maybe not going to lie about that. But currently, I don't have to worry about that. So, yeah, so Brood Brothers, like they're called Brood Brothers. Yes, so needless to say, I'm going to be showing you the rules for the units and telling you what I think about them. Abhorrence, yep, cool. Glad we've got a multi-part kit as well. Well, at least a kit. I haven't seen the kit yet. So these are the Jackals, isn't it? And one of the truck and a Goliath rock grinder. And then we have a yellow in Atalan with an improvised weapon. Kind of cool. Ridge Runners. Is it Ridge Runners, isn't it? Yeah, Ridge Runner. Sounds cool. Alliteration is cool. Yeah, so these are some of the new models. So let's have a glancy poos at these. The Kellamorph. Cool. The Lucas. Almost looks normal human under his cloak. This is the Sanctus with Bio Dagger. I believe he can have a sniper rifle. Remember rightly. Biophagus, that's what I'm going to pronounce it. With the Jackal Alphas, which was a lady one, I think. Clamavus. Don't know why it's called a Clamavus. Don't know what it means. Anyway, Nexos. Makes sense. Magus and Familiar. So this is the standard model we've had before. And all of the Abhorrence with improvised weapons. Improvised weapons are not too bad. Again, we'll do a rules review on them, and we'll do that in a separate video. Promising a lot. Am I going to deliver it? Hopefully by the time you see this video, there might already be some of that already out and about. I like the vibrant colours on these ones. They're really bright. Mine's not too dissimilar to that, apart from I've got green instead of blue. With the bladed cog. I'll have to have a look, see if I've got any of those. So I've done this in another video. You've probably seen it. There's a new Start Collecting box set for these guys. It totals out to be roughly about £100. This set was 110. Sorry. Obviously, start collecting box set could be somewhere between 55 and 60. We don't know yet if this is an exception, but it's £100 worth of models for that. This was pretty cool. These are the new models, £110, I believe I worked it out. I might have been wrong. Correct me in the video down below, as you will. So now we're going to have a little look at the rules for the Cult Ambush. So this is just saying the standard one, so you get this in there. Astral Militarum, Space Marines, you have to pick a cult, and when you pick the cult, you swap the word cult for Twisted Helix, etc. Abilities, Unquestioning Loyalty. Each time you may fail a saving throw for a cult character, each time a cult character model suffers a mortal wound, and each time it suffers a mortal wound, within 3 inches, you can see if the Brew Brothers unit of this ability, if it is, you can roll a d6 and a 4+. I think it used to be a 2+, didn't it? But you do get additions to that for other rolls, but again, we'll go over that at a later point. But one model selected is slain otherwise, so you can keep a lot of guys around, and a 50-50 chance. So if you've got a Feel No Pain or something equivalent, you can use a Feel No Pain, and then you can see on a 50-50 if some of your basic plebs are going to die instead. Cult Ambush, the whole reason for this video. So, Cult Ambush. During deployment, you can set up this unit in ambush instead of on the battlefield. If this unit has the infantry or the biker keyword, you can set it up in ambush or underground instead of on the battlefield. So this is the extent of the underground rule. When you set up a unit underground, it can emerge at the end of any of your movement phases. Set it up anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 9 inches away from enemy models. So basically your infantry and bikers have got deep strike. Sick. Providing it's got the Cult Ambush rule, obviously. It then says, when you set up a unit in ambush instead of underground, place 1 ambush marker anywhere on the battlefield that is wholly within your deployment zone. You will need 1 ambush marker for each unit that you will deploy in this way. If you set up a transport in ambush, basically that's telling you that you would use 1 for the transport and you wouldn't use any extras, unless I've read that wrong. You do not need, so you don't need to set up a separate ambush marker, so you can read that at your own leisure. In order to declare, so let's say you've got a squad of neophytes on your cult chimera, you just use 1 instead of 2. Ambush markers are not units and cannot be targeted, attacked, or destroyed. When measuring to or from ambush markers, always measure from the center of the marker. If you are playing a mission that uses concealed deployment rules do not apply to units that do not have the Cult Ambush ability. Okay. If you're playing a mission that uses sentries, sentry models cannot be set up in ambush, even if they have the Cult Ambush ability. Revealing the markers. If you have the first 10, you must reveal, good golly gosh, all of your ambush markers at the start of your movement phase, 1 at a time. Before moving any units, each time reveal an ambush marker. Select 1 unit from your army that you set up in ambush, and then set up 1 model from that unit within 1 inch of the marker. So remove a token and put a unit down. Then remove the marker before setting up the rest of the model's unit wholly within 6 inches of the first model. Okay. So does that mean then, let's have a look, I haven't read this properly, it looks like. Then remove the model before setting up with the rest of the model's unit wholly within 6 inches of that first model. So you have to have a full unit within 6 inches of the first model, which isn't entirely hard. You could have a ring around them, a bit like you used to do in Deep Strike. As long as you haven't got like 30 models, I don't think you can have any bother, which you could do, but we'll see. Deploy wholly within your deployment zone and more than 9 inches away from enemy models. Any models that cannot be placed and be destroyed. So if you aren't within 6 inches, you could well, good golly gosh, you could be destroyed. So if you have a 30-man blob of neophytes and you can't get them all within 6 inches, then they're dead. I'm going to have to do a practical test of that one time. That unit can, if it is your turn, the unit can still move and shoot normally. Let's see if there's any extras. There is. During the turn, it is set up, but if it is a transport, units, hold on, but if it's, good golly gosh, if it is a transport, units that disembark from it, this 10 cannot be set up within 9 inches of any enemy models. Okay, so if you do get on a transport, like a Cult Chimera, and it bombs to the front, you can't jump out within 9 inches. You can still jump out, maybe, or you can jump out, but not within 9 inches. There we go. Note that even though such units have a rise in reinforcements this turn, unless they actually move during this phase, they do not count as having moved for their movement phase heavy weapons. So you could have a unit of Brood Brothers if they've got that special role. I need to check that. And you can still fire your heavy weapons at full ballistic skill. If your opponent has the first 10, then none of their units can be set up or end a move within 9 inches of any of your ambush markers. So you can't end up. So basically, you could be a bit cheesy and block them off. Who knows? At the end of your opponent's first move, yep. And then you first move. After they have set up all of their units from reinforcements, if any, reveal all of your ambush markers as described, but before continuing with the turn. So if it's your turn, you reveal them all. If it's their turn, you wait until they have moved everything. That's right. Yep. And then you remove them. So the good thing about it is that you could, like I said, maybe a bit cheesy, who knows, you could put a ring around around your, let's say, Cult Leman Russes, Goliath trucks, anything that you want to fire out with. You could put a ring around them and no one could move within 9 inches. Therefore, you could block their first 10 movement, but then they could charge those units, but not your other ones. Okay, so that's kind of good. One of the things that I don't like is, so what you'll see when you get the Codex is, or if you get a Cult Ambush markers. This Codex comes with 28 markers that you can use when setting up the Genestealer Cult, also indicated a 9-inch ruler. This is intended to set up blah, 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 blah. Basically, they had some space, so they made a 9-inch ruler on it. However, not bad. It looks like they're around about 32 mil, maybe 25 mil, so you could probably use bases instead and maybe just put a red dot on them or something. You could just use bases. They're cheap enough, aren't they? And you could use them as your thingies. That's what I don't like about it, and it kind of feels like you putting stuff down on the board that's not a model. I know it sounds stupid, it's like you're putting a token for something. It removes, from my perspective, it removes the suspension of disbelief to an extent. It's much like I don't like having tons of dice on the board if I can help it, other than rolls, and I remove them afterwards just because I like to... You know, if you've got like a can of Coke, or not sponsored by Coke, by the way, if you like a can of Coke or like a book on the side of the table, I don't like it on there because I like to see it as if like it's an actual battle. As stupid as that sounds, that's the way I like to play it, and that's why I don't like. I'm just gonna see how long this video's going on for. 13 minutes. Wow, very lucky. I mean, obviously, you guys might well think otherwise. Let's go here. Let me just see. Yep, so we'll go back onto the page track. I will do some rules reviews or some units. Maybe do a couple at a time, but I'm not going to do it in this video. Yeah, I honestly, it's definitely powerful in the thingy. Oh, don't know if it's game breaking, so that you could deny first time charging. No, you couldn't. No, you couldn't, because they can still charge. You have to still reveal any units that you've got in thingy. So on the first 10, regardless of what happens, if you've got them in the Cult Ambush with the markers, then you would have to reveal them. Personally, I like the the underground bit, but the issue I have with that is it doesn't explicitly say that you can't use it on the first turn. I mean, the standard rule is you can use it on the first turn in your own deployment zone, but it says also, I believe, the units that might use these, like, etc., etc., are exempt from this. But Cult Ambush generally is kind of cool. The only thing I don't like about it is the tokens. I don't know what else they could have done, short of possibly, you know, like you've got these Genestealer infestation nodes. You know, you could use them yourself, or you could use another type of model, maybe some familiars or something, to show that there's something there. I mean, I get the fluff of it, but personal taste, stupid as it sounds, I prefer having a model on the board if we did that way. So, basic rules, regardless of which creed of cult that you take, I read that because of the bit at the top there. They're kind of strong for that rule alone. Obviously, everything can deep strike if it's got the Cult Ambush ability, which we'll check at a later date. Let me know what you think in regards to the rules, what you think of the video. If I've missed anything, got anything wrong, as ever, pop it down below. But yet again, thank you very much for watching, and see you again.